Welcome, guys, back to the I Love Wrestling podcast. We are back for our weekly Raw and Netflix, reviews. Sorry about last week. We had a little bit of an unscheduled hiccup, but we are back, and we're here to review Monday Night Raw. What did you think of it this week, Dad?
It was good coming from Atlanta, Georgia, the go-home show for the Rumble. I was pretty excited about it.
It was pretty cool. You start off the night, the first thing we see is Cody walking with Brandy and his daughter into the building. That was cool.
That was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that.
No, I wasn't. It's always cool to see Brandy on TV. Seeing how especially she was on TV a lot in AEW and, pre her leaving WWE when she was a ring announcer. So it's cool to see Brandy on TV again. But they do open the show with Seth Rollins. I'm not gonna lie, I really like Rollins' mic work here. He's just, the way he can get a crowd now as a babyface is pretty good. And just the lead up to him talking about all the things he's done to earn the match against Gunther was nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And Gunther, I like the way he come out and explained that he was the best in the company now. And then at that time the music hit and here comes Logan Paul. Before
Logan comes out, though, Gunther does say pretty much, kind of like it's past Seth's time.
Yeah.
Do you think Rollins' prime's over? Do you
No,
think it's in that reign as somebody else now?
No.
Do you think it's Logan's prime?
I can see him using Logan just because of Netflix.
They really, for one, before we get into what they talked about, it was hard to hear what Logan was saying. Just because he was booed clean out of the building.
I couldn't hear anything he was saying. I couldn't hear anything at all. But he did.
Who had worse heat, him or Hogan?
I'd say Paul. He did declare himself for the Rumble, though.
Yes. And Gunther, it was surprising because Gunther agreed. He was like, you know what? Yeah, I want you to win the Rumble, and I want to beat you.
He said he wanted Seth to win so he could beat Seth.
Yes.
And then turned it around and was like, never mind. I want Logan to win so I can slap that that smirk off his face.
A couple months ago, when they originally announced that Logan was going to be part of the Raw brand, a lot of guys and rumors was that the thought going into Mania was going to be Logan Paul versus Gunther. And a lot of questions were raised of how we'd even get there.
Well, the Royal Rumble is how they'll get there.
Do you see Logan Paul in the Royal Rumble with how stacked the card is?
I'm not going to say that, but I can see it, yes.
You could see it?
Yeah.
I think,
it sounds like an old school Vince McMahon play.
I'm a big fan of Logan. I'm not going to lie, which that's an unpopular opinion. I really like what Logan does in the ring. Despite maybe what happens outside the ring, these controversies, in the ring he's really good.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd do the Royal Rumble justice. For somebody like Logan who wrestled 6 times, 7 times, I
don't see why it would be that big of a problem.
Up next,
he's good.
Up next, we had somebody else who has declared themselves for the Royal Rumble. CM Punk do a promo, pretty much putting over the fact that he's going to win it, and Sami interrupts and acknowledges that Punk said that Sami is not on Punk's level, and Sami's rebuttal was, "Well, Punk, you're not on my level." Because you've never made him in a WrestleMania.
You've never been in a main event of WrestleMania. So that was pretty good. I like that. And then he runs into Killian Cross.
What they're doing with Karrion Kross and planting the seeds of him kind of turning all these guys evil or making them go to the dark side, I really like it. It's kind of like, how do I explain it?
It reminds me of like an old school Kane and Undertaker type storyline. It to me feels like a Bruce Pritchard creation.
What it reminds me of is in the Ghost Rider movies, how anytime something bad happens, there's the demon that pops up right before it happens.
Yeah.
And that's Karrion Kross. He's the demon.
Yeah,
always pops up right before
I can see that.
Bad things turn. Kind of a big announcement that they made, didn't make a big deal out of, but it's a little deal, is A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, and now part of the Raw brand.
Yeah.
Part of the transfer window. They were talking about that whenever they did the little shots from everybody in and out of the crowd. Which led us into the WWE World Tag Team Championship match between the champions, the War Raiders, and Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough.
It was a Judgment Day, and this was the War Raiders' first title defense.
Yes.
Since winning the titles. So I was excited to see what was going to happen.
It seems like, this is the fourth Raw on Netflix, and we're just now seeing the tag team champions in a match. It's kind of surprising, but it was good that the first one was a great match.
Oh, yeah, it was really good. Really good. There was a nasty bump.
With McDonough and the moonsault.
McDonough outside of that moonsault. It was very nasty. I was worried about his safety, and then he got right back up and shook it off, so that kind of surprised me.
The amount of offense that Dominic Mysterio and JD had to their tag team tandem, the way they worked together, was really surprising.
Yeah,
because usually
really
you
good.
get Finn and JD, so get the Dominic JD was just different.
I think maybe they're going for something to where it's JD ends up siding with Dom rather than Finn when the Judgment Day splits. Maybe.
I think it makes sense, and then
Something
maybe
like
we
that.
get a Finn Balor face turn.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I like to Dominic did the flip over the ropes, did the Eddie Guerrero. I really like his Eddie Guerrero, like the mullet, the whole.
Yeah. Carlito does interfere while the ref's back is turned.
Spit the apple.
Spit the apple.
That was pretty nice.
And
Call
then
back.
there was I liked the false finish, how they really made it seem like, Judgment Day was going to get the titles back.
Well, see, at that point, I thought they were, and I thought that's where the Finn Balor thing would happen.
But they swerved you.
Yeah, they swerved me. I got swerved, bro.
I like the finish, with the War Raiders hitting the War Machine. I just like the springboard clothesline.
That move was devastating.
It's devastating.
Two big guys, they move very, very well.
Very well.
They fly like high flyers, and then are powerhouses.
And their striking game is crazy.
Yes.
It's like if you rolled Bam Bam Bigelow and Aleister Black into one, you get War Raiders.
Yeah, I like it.
Just shout out to JD once again for going through that match after that nasty bump, because commentary even put it over like he could have broke his freaking neck.
Yeah.
So it's really it was one of those scary moments to just, I guess, keep yourself safe in the ring, guys.
Well, I noticed it before they even said anything. And as soon as his neck hit the back of the desk, he went down like lumped
He folded.
Yeah. I think he was knocked out for a second.
Yeah, he seemed a little loopy. After that, we do get a spot backstage where Pete Dunne is talking with Little Kaiser, which I think would be cool if maybe we got some sort of tag team, Kaiser and Dunne. It'd be interesting, especially with the history between Pete Dunne and Gunther or Walter.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
To see Butch and Kaiser would be pretty cool.
New Day interrupts that interaction. There's, Woods is trying to put over the fact that he's a hometown Atlanta boy. Didn't go over too well. Nobody really cared. And he even says, "Hey, my family's gonna be out there," which we get into that later during the match. Up next, obviously, is him versus Rey Mysterio. Rey obviously got more of a hometown pop than Xavier Woods did, and he's not even from there.
And then we find out too that Selena.
Yes, in the entrance, they announced Zelina Vega is moved to SmackDown for the transfer window. So now you got another shift in.
I just thought it was unique how they let her still, like with her being transferred, how she was on the show tonight, and they said something because normally they wouldn't.
They do let you know that the transfers don't go into place until after the Rumble.
Okay.
So that's something I did catch on commentary. During Woods' entrance, New Day's entrance, they do make a big deal out of Woods' family not being present at that time.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. They had the empty seats, the reserved. And then they didn't show up. Woods keeps looking over.
And then midway through, they go on the outside, and they're there. Woods goes over and talks his trash. We get the reveal of the New Day Sucks shirts. They're kind of nice shirts, man.
I like the way they did it too with Kofi's mom before, and now Woods'
family.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. And then, off of that, Ray turns around and picks up a victory.
Picks up the win with the 619 and goes over there and taunts.
Throws the New Day Sucks shirts on, and taunts Woods with
with his family.
Yeah.
Adds insult to injury. Something Woods did that was really cool was he had Ray in the match, hung up on that middle rope, and then he jumps off
double stomp
and does the double stomp. That was cool. I haven't seen Woods do that.
I like that.
Woods is somebody I think.
It reminded me of when he was Consequences Creed.
Yes.
He would do stuff like that back as Consequences
People
Creed.
forget about Consequences Creed,
Really,
but I loved
really.
Creed when I was a kid.
Yeah, I like Creed too. Creed and Machismo.
Black Machismo,
Black
Jay White.
Machismo.
I mean Jay Lethal.
Yeah,
That was classic. That was classic.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Do you think we'll ever get a singles run with Xavier Woods where he wins a championship?
I don't know.
He's been in WWE now for over 10 years.
Well, I mean, if there was a time to do it, now would be.
You think if Kofi was the manager?
I could see Big E coming back though, real soon. I know people don't think he's going to, everybody, but I don't see them playing this angle this way.
I don't either.
Without Big E being able to pay it off.
A small thing I also noticed is, and you asked me during the match, both Xavier and Kofi have that M tattoo.
Yes.
Which it's an anime reference, but I don't see somebody drawing that much out of, because it's a evil type storyline. The good guy turns and is now evil. Like I don't see these guys going and getting tattoos of this big term, and it not meaning something more.
Y'all know I see it paying off, and I see it paying off with Big E. I don't think there's no other way to pay it off.
No.
I see Big E returning, maybe finding a partner, or Big E taking him out in singles.
I think just
like a triple threat type.
Triple threat, or even 2-on-1. Big E Langston, he was that guy back in the day. So it'd be really. I think Big E deserves it too. He was really hot before he left.
Even if it's not a permanent run.
No.
Even if it's just a few matches, or to come back to settle this up and then go away again.
Even if you think if
For
he had
like
a
a last
part-time,
match.
if he had like a part-time running, where like
or even like everybody's saying with like Corey Graves, like how Corey's dream got taken. It's kind of the same thing, Big E's dream got snatched. So if he could even come and get a match with somebody, two wrestlers the caliber of Woods and Kofi, who could probably get in there and take care of him really well. Yeah. Why not? And get that farewell match.
I agree. Up next, we had a backstage segment with Seth Rollins where he goes to talk to Sami Zayn. They're talking about how last week Sami Zayn accidentally hit Rollins with the Helluva kick, and Rollins really says how Sami's relationship with Roman Reigns has affected Sami's other relationships, whether it's with him or Cody or Kevin or whoever.
Well, I like the way they tied in, like even with Kevin telling Sami, "Look, you helped me win, and you get the first title shot." So it's like they're tying it all in together. So I really like that. I don't know how I quite feel about all the backstage segments, the way they rapid fire them though. I'm not for sure if I like it or dislike it yet, because sometimes I really enjoy it. Other times I'm like, it's a little much. Maybe they did one too many.
I like it from the aspect of, for a while we was only getting a select group of guys on TV, and it's a way for you to get a multitude of more people.
I can see that. I can see that.
If you notice, Gable isn't in a match every week, but he's in a segment every week.
Yes.
And without those little backstage things, it wouldn't happen. Also helps tell a story throughout it.
No,
because Sami was in 4 or 5 segments.
I see the point of it. I'm not saying that. I'm just not used to it yet.
Maybe it's too much.
Well, I'm not even that. Maybe it's just my personal. I'm not used to it yet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So maybe once I get used to it, maybe I'll enjoy it a lot. Because there are times I enjoy but to me, sometimes it's like there's not enough in them. Like, because they're so rapid fire, you don't get enough. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's the point.
Yeah, it could be.
Up next, they kind of give us a teaser, a sneak peek of CM Punk having an exclusive interview leading into the Royal Rumble, where they really just hint on maybe we could get some answers on what that favor that he asked Paul Heyman may be.
Yeah, we're not getting no answers yet.
No. We won't get the answer for that until it's time to cash it in.
Yeah, I feel like it could be a whole another year or two.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know with their storytelling, the way it's been playing out. It's always long form. So I'm just thinking
I feel like he's going to give you the runaround.
Yeah.
With that up next, we had Jey Uso coming out with Quavo. He had probably one of the longest entrances I've ever seen.
I just wrote down one word, yeet.
That's all it was.
That's all it was. I wrote down one word, yeet. And that's because it was long. He did get up there and...
He talks about how he wants to redeem himself after Saturday.
Yes.
And the only way to do that is by winning the Royal Rumble.
Winning the Rumble. And going after Gunther again.
Yep.
That he's figured Gunther out this time.
I thought he figured him out Saturday night's main event.
That's what I thought he said too.
Well, no, like in the match. There was times I believe this is it. Jey wins the belt.
Jey wins the belt. And I think he should have. I think they should have
100%
fired them. But what they might be trying to do is make it seem like he can't beat Gunther. Jey pick up the Rumble win and fight Gunther at Mania and win at Mania.
It looks like a lot of people could fight Gunther at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
We got Rollins, Logan, Punk.
Maybe they'll have a
Jey Uso
6-way match for the world title.
Up next, we had another interview with Lyra Valkyria where she says, "Hey, I'm joining the Royal Rumble." Gets interrupted by Chad Gable, and Gable says, Ivy Nile is going to take that Intercontinental Championship away from you.
And looking at Ivy now, I think she could very well.
She's
easily.
underrated. I think.
Yeah, I think she is too.
She's somebody that
she looks mean. She reminds me of Beth Phoenix type.
But she's small.
Yeah, but that look on her face is intense, and that's what.
It's like a compacted Beth Phoenix.
Or Ronda Rousey.
You know who she reminds me of? Taz.
I can see that.
I mean,
because she is short and
she's small. She does the suplex,
but she has that look,
well,
like that angry look.
Taz has that.
But Beth Phoenix used to have it when she would wrestle.
I agree.
She had that.
I think Taz would be a better. Because Beth was big and mean.
Yeah, but it was her face I was talking about. The look on her face.
Fair enough. Do you see either one of these women winning the Royal Rumble?
Not a chance in hell.
Okay. After that, though, Gable finds Otis and Akira Tozawa.
Which I dug this.
Shaking.
I dug the shaking. I dug the twerking on there. I thought it was pretty funny. I like seeing Otis out there doing his thing.
I really think they should have had Otis beat Gable.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think it would have hurt Gable because Gable's right now he's a utility man. You can use him for just about anything. I would like to see though Gable be the one to dethrone Braun Baker.
I'd like to see Gable win a world title.
Yes, I mean to get there though you got to start.
Not necessarily. He jump straight to the world title picture.
He deserves either one.
If you notice, like when we seen him last, he's in his angle gear. They're doing the "You Suck."
Yes.
I just think they should capitalize on it.
I think once again, kind of like Jey Uso, they should have capitalized on it last year when they had the chance. Like I think sometimes they wait too long to pull the triggers because they're worried about these extended title reigns. Like they want everybody to hold the belt for 200 plus, 300 plus days when you could. Sometimes passing the belt around isn't a bad idea. It's when you do it too much.
I think that's another reason why they got so many titles too.
Well, you got so many titles, but everybody holds them for years.
Yeah.
For 3 years at a time. Up next, we had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who did not get an entrance, facing the women's tag team champions Bianca Belair and Naomi. Which I thought was really weird, having your former women's champion not have an entrance. It was just, they've been doing that a lot lately. I think they did it to The Miz.
I think it's a way to just save time, cut time. New game on Netflix.
Fair enough. Realistically, with this match, there wasn't much to say about it as your standard women's tag team.
I enjoyed it, though.
It wasn't bad. It just, there wasn't a lot of highlight.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match. I think with Bianca, the whole tag team thing is kind of...
Ran its course?
Well, not just ran its course. I think it's taken her down a notch. Like, she was on a level, like I was saying earlier, kind of with Charlotte or Becky or Bailey and like that upper echelons of the women's division. And now it seems like Rhea has took that place, and now.
Well, she has.
Yeah, but I mean, normally there would still be room for Bianca to still be there. You know, like Charlotte Flair comes back, she's right there.
You know, I think with Bianca, it seems like she chose to step down to help somebody like Jade.
Yeah.
And then her place is there, though. I feel like when she's
so.
done with Jade, I feel like it'll be done in a way that could elevate both her and Jade to be back in those top spots.
I hope so.
That's just how I've been looking at it, because it looks like she's been just taking her time to really help out a Jade Cargill. And, you know, I feel like from how I've seen it outside looking in, it seems like that's like Triple H's goal, to say, hey, I brought her in. You're probably the closest thing to that we have. Let's put you two together and you show her the WWE ropes. And I could see them both being women's world heavyweight champions or women's WWE champion, whatever, in the future.
Then we had Dom come out through the interference.
Yeah.
I love Dirty Dom. Love the interference. I thought it was a perfect spot.
Raquel hitting the powerbomb was weak.
Yes, that was weak. That was
Liv pinning, I don't even remember, was it Naomi? Pinning Naomi was
because
weak.
Bianca comes over the top, went to Dom.
It was just weak. The whole thing, I just think, like, if anything, Liv should have hit her with something else, add the little cherry on top.
Out of all the matches that we've seen all night,
yes,
this was by far the weakest one.
Yes, I agree.
I would give this the lowest rating.
I'd say, you know, it does lead into question, will Liv Morgan and Raquel win the Women's Tag Team Championships, because now they get a title shot?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll win, though.
I mean, what I could see happening is them winning, and then Jade coming back and being pissed off at Bianca and Naomi, saying, hey, you know, not only do I get hurt, but you replace me, and then you lose our belts, which would be nice. Because then it'd be a good way for Jade to be a heel.
It could be.
And be all badass, and then them collide. Afterwards, we get a Rhea Ripley interview where she talks about taking down the monstrous Nia Jax at Saturday Night's Main Event, which I think was a good match. Two women beat each other down. Bailey interrupts and says, you know, maybe I could come after you after I win the Rumble.
Maybe she could win it for a second time.
Two-time Bailey. And then Bailey runs into Io Sky, who she beat after she won the Royal Rumble last year. So seeds were planted. I would be all in for a Bailey versus Rhea Ripley match.
Well, I'd like to see Bailey win it twice even. I think that'd be cool for the women. I don't like what they're doing with the Rumbles, how they're announcing every single competitor. Like, I like the element of surprise, like who's coming out next. Well, if you know everybody that's in it.
If you know 25 out of the 30 entrants. The
Yeah,
5 surprises.
It makes it hard.
Especially when your 5 surprises are probably like nothing against NXT talent, but when your 5 surprises are Wesley and
this year we're making
Ethan
some
Thorpe.
TNA.
I do not see there being any way that Joe Hendry is not in the Royal Rumble.
I think him and Cena have.
He's called Cena out on too many news outlets and on Chris Van Fleet's show.
I could even see John Cena doing a TNA show.
That'd be badass.
I think John Cena shows up to TNA. This year, that's my prediction. John Cena in TNA.
What I think would be interesting and would be really cool is if Nick Nemeth enters the Royal Rumble and gets eliminated and then comes out as Dolph Ziggler.
That could be interesting.
It'd be like a Foley spot. And when was the last time we saw a Foley spot?
It's been a long time.
Exactly. It'd just be cool. Up next, we had a great Penta package. I love the video packages they're doing. WWE has stepped up their production levels on video packages so much.
I like Penta. But yet again, he's in the Rumble. He's declared himself in the Rumble. So it goes back to what I was saying. I'm just kind of tired of that shit. Tired of that crap. I would rather them I'd rather them just let things be surprises sometimes.
Yes. Up next, we had another man who's declared himself for the Royal Rumble who didn't even bother to show up to Monday Night Raw. Paul Heyman decides to announce that the cover star or cover athlete for the WWE 2K25 game is Roman Reigns, who did promise us on the Netflix debut that he'd be here, and he was not.
But Heyman says he is the guy behind Roman, and as you can see in the package,
he is clearly behind.
He's clearly right behind Roman, praying on that.
You know, I didn't really care for the whole spot, like Paul Heyman just playing on, but Drew interrupting him was nice.
I'll tell you what I didn't care for.
Go ahead.
Every year they drop that damn drape down in front of the whole crowd. If I was back there and paid for those seats, I'd be upset. Highly pissed off.
Okay. Drew McIntyre comes out and explains how he is the daddy of the Hurt Business, which...
No, not the Hurt Business, the Bloodline.
The Bloodline. I don't know why I said Hurt Business. The daddy of the Bloodline. Paul Heyman seemed to smirk. You think it broke Paul Heyman? Nah. But he explains how without Drew winning the 2020 Royal Rumble, there would be no Bloodline because he wouldn't have beat the Beast. Paul Heyman wouldn't have went into obscurity and then crawled and been... Roman's lapdog and made him all evil, which is, it's great storytelling. It's deep.
No, it is. Good storytelling.
Drew also explains that he is targeting Heyman's, right-hand man or Heyman's guy, and then you think it's Roman Reigns.
Well, I didn't think it was Roman Reigns. I knew
okay, the world thinks it's
the world thought it was, but I knew. I said, wait, he ain't talking about Reigns.
Well, he's like, Reigns knows I'm coming, but Punk is who I'm coming after.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I enjoyed that.
Which leads into Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. And Michael Cole made sure to point out that Sami Zayn is 0-10 against Drew McIntyre. Now 0-11.
0-11.
So statistically speaking, this match made no freaking sense at all.
Well, no, it didn't. But it was probably the match of the night.
No, it was great. I loved every second of it. I think Sami is just incredible in the ring, and Drew is a physical specimen.
One thing I wish would stop happening, though, is after all these matches, as soon as they're over, the guy attacks the other guy.
Yes.
And then you get the big run-in schmoz. And I like them most of the times, but you can't have one every single fucking week.
Hey, watch your mouth.
My bad. Sorry.
Every single week.
Every single week. I'm sorry. But it's every week they have the run-in schmoz at the end. Now, we did get something special out of it, though.
We do get... well, before we get to your run-in schmoz, Sami Zayn got some color.
The nose.
The nose, it could be broke. There's blood everywhere.
I don't know if it's broke, but it definitely looked rough.
It looked rough.
The match was great, though. The whole match was great.
I just it seems like in ring wise, we're getting Sami Zayn from NXT again. The moonsaults, the springboarding over people, just the different combinations.
I love the little bottom rope springboard, the backwards springboard.
Over top of Drew.
Yeah, I love that.
I noticed Sami went for to walk on the top rope. Drew clipped his legs. That was a nice little spot. Drew McIntyre missing the Claymore, landing on the announce table.
That was sick.
I really like how they built up to the Blue Thunder Bomb this week, teasing, hey, you can't get Drew up, he can't get Drew up. He hits a couple reversals, hits the Blue Thunder Bomb. It was just nice. And then the finish, the miss of the Helluva Kick, Drew using the ropes. It kept Sami strong.
And then Sammy's distracted because he's arguing over the ropes.
Yes, and you get Drew attacking him. Cody comes out. Kevin comes out. And who gets hit with the Helluva Kick?
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
And Kevin Owens gives him the little pat on the chest like, thanks, buddy. So I can see where they're going with it.
Do you think Sami Zayn helps Kevin Owens win the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
But I could be wrong because didn't they have the same issue going on with Sami Zayn not too long ago and somebody else, and he didn't turn on them, but they believed he turned on them? Wasn't that the Bloodline thing at one point?
Kind of, sort of.
So he might turn this time because he didn't last time. Everybody thought he was going to, and he didn't.
you know, I'm not going to. For a good prediction, make sure to check out my interview with Matt from the Showdown on Saturday. I'm not going to give away his prediction, but it was a damn good one. And it doesn't have anything to do with Sami Zayn, but it was a good
prediction.
Good prediction. I was going to throw it out there, but I'm not going to take credit.
Man, I think you should probably take time and thank all your fans for the big...
Yes. While we're here, I do want to start off by saying thank you, everybody. 1,000 subscribers. We're a month in. I did not think it was possible. Thank you so much. Also, I want to send a special shout out to Marty Skrull. Great interview. It's got great reactions. Thank you. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure to go check it out. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. As always, we thank you so much.
Big announcement. You got some other stuff coming up. More big interviews. Check out. Don't tell them. But
we're not going to tell you who, but
there's some good ones coming.
I can say, I'll put it this way. One puts on one hell of a masterclass in the ring, and the other one might just be undisputed.
You might get hooked.
So with that said, guys, thank you.
All praise to God.
And we'll see you next week.
Thank you.